by it's not, okay, it's on recording now, and so I'm going to add Choma officially to our group. So if you have any question, I want her to handle this Tableau. It's I'm getting division of labor. So if you have any question on Tableau where you're trying to explore Tableau, you can direct to her. There's Tableau public. If you go to Tableau public, because I know if you are using this free trial, it's going to expire very soon and you are going to struggle. So the public is free forever. So, which I think is something we get familiarized with that as well. But the good thing about the public is that there is a lot of quality resources, videos, and a lot of things which we can leverage. All the I've gone through everything about them in that they are public is okay. It just the only difference with the public and the
Desktop.
and the paid
Desktop.
one, yeah, desktop is does that you cannot tweak or claim data in public. So you must have claimed your data maybe somewhere in Excel or any other place before you bring it there, but it's very simple. So, and I hear Choma, I have Choma too. Choma Iwuchukwu, yeah, and Choma Mwanya. So I hear Choma, okay, Choma students and Choma. Say, Choma, you were saying that she got a bit of experience in Tableau. Yeah, you said that? Choma, are you there? Okay. Maybe network. So the point I'm making is that Choma will have this class, and next week I'll be starting Python. So that is what I want to do, and I will use Python to conclude this session. We have solid background already. While we're starting, I try to lay a solid foundation, and that's our foundation is Excel. We treated spreadsheets very well. We use Google spreadsheet, but it's still okay. And we have a good hands-on on SQL. So if you're still struggling on that area, but we have a foundation on SQL. And we equally have good, solid foundation on Power BI. To the extent we treated DAX very well, that is the area where a lot of things will tend to happen at advanced level in a Power BI. So if we can equally grab something from this Tableau and the Python, I think we should be able to wrap up this boot camp, and that's what I want to let us know because we're rounding up. And by next week, Python is very deep, so don't expect me to go to make you a developer, become a Python developer. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to scratch Python. Well, that is by next week we're going to treat Python. If you want to learn more about Python, if you go when we're starting, I said we're not going into, but I changed my mind about we need to scratch it because we have other like NumPy and some of the tools, just introductory level about Python. So that is what we plan to do. And that's it. in our forum, we can always chat, we can always communicate. If you have any challenges, you can call me personally. I can book a session with you. If I have time, I always make time for my students if you are struggling. So that's it. So that's the announcement I want to make. If you have any question regarding the announcement, you can say something. If there is no question or anything directed to me, we exit. I'll leave you guys with Chama, and maybe I'll come back to log out the session when you guys almost are finished. So if you have any question that I want to direct to me, you can ask it now. If you are not disposed to ask now, if you have personal question, you can contact me privately. I'm available. So thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good evening once again. Good evening.
Good evening, Choma.
Good evening, Choma.
Good evening. We're missing Mr. Alex today, unfortunately. But okay.
Good evening.
Before now, we're talking about who had watched the video, and most people said they haven't finished. Or the people we asked, 2 people, they said they hadn't finished. Okay, Mr. Charles, yes, please.
Okay, yeah, I have watched the whole video. I took my time out today to watch everything, and I watched it first. I run through it first, then I now put the video on my desktop and downloaded the desktop. I put this thing on my desktop computer. Then I now downloaded the desktop Tableau on my laptop. So as I'm watching the video, I'm practicing it on my laptop. As I'm watching the video, I'm practicing on my laptop. So now I have created everything. What is remaining now is for me to do the dashboard. All the cheats that we created, about 8 of them or 9 of them, I've created everything. So I am now on the dashboard. So I just said, let me come to the class. So it's really good. Initially, I wanted to do with what is it called, the public, because I noticed that this one just had 14 days trial. But I went to public. A lot of hyperlinks are not there. A lot of features, sorry, a lot of features are not there. It's not the same thing like this one. So when I even wanted to start following you, I couldn't do anything. So I have to come back and download the trial version. So it's when I downloaded the trial version that on my laptop, that was when I got it okay. So let me use the floor for that. But when we go, then I might now ask questions on areas I feel I need to understand. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for the effort. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay, any other person?
Okay. Yeah. Good evening, Choma. Good evening, everyone. Wow. You did a very good, nice work. Nice as in very good and detailed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, as he said, is it Mr. Charles? I did the same way what he did. I've finished watching it. Then I'm at dashboard now. But at the beginning, when I tried to bring in the superstore, you know, you said if it comes out open, like the data. Okay, when I went to Excel to bring in my superstore, everything, it only came out only orders. the return, the users did not come out. I didn't say it. But I know you said if it comes out open like that, we'll have to close it up and bring it back. I tried to do it severally. It still comes back only order. So I start working on it. I don't know why. I start working on it like that.
Okay. Okay. Well, I didn't. Okay. First off, I'm thinking maybe there is a mix-up because I know Samples Superstore data. It has so many versions. You know, that has the others. That has only the others table and has the other returns and all users. So maybe it was a mix-up when I shared the data set, but it's practically the same thing.
Okay.
Right? When you start working on it, the others was
yes, yeah,
yes,
the same, yes.
yeah. So I think yes, so I think that was the mix-up, but yeah.
Because I know you said we'll still go back to I don't know if we're still going to work on the returns and users. I don't know. That's why I'm just concerned on that.
No, we're not going to work on them. No, we're not going to work on them because I said for the purpose of this class, we're working on just one data set. But in case, yes, in case you have to, you know, like work with two data sets and you have to, if it's in Power BI, we model, right? So we create relationships. But if it's in SQL, we do the joins, right? So that is when, you know, you can bring into data sets and try to create the relationships.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
That is all I have. Thank you very much.
Hello,
Okay,
good evening, Chairman. Good evening,
Hello,
everyone.
good evening, Kichi. Thank you. Good evening.
I want to say a big thank you first for a job well done. It was a detailed class. But I noticed when I was watching, though I'm not through with mine, I'm working the same way the Mr.
That's
Charles
okay.
did. So I try to, you know, create mine alongside with the class while watching it. But I found out that I want to ask a question concerning that custom, like you said, when we are to put sales or profit, that we have to customize it, perhaps maybe in naira, I think so, or dollar, depending on what the company we are working for. To my own understanding. So are we to? We shouldn't put it in decimal form. So we should leave it that way. We shouldn't put it in decimal form. I want to understand because is it applicable to any analysis we are doing?
Okay.
Like
no.
Because
It was
I
just
remember in Power BI we were putting in decimal form.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Thank you for the question. No, it was just my personal preference because I'm thinking for me it's my personal preference. Yeah, if you know we're looking at the figures and you just see point something something, which is not like you're short forming into 2.5 million. So you have the long figure and you're seeing points. Those are very negligible figures. So that's why I just remove the decimal. I always, when I do my dashboards, you know, I always try to remove the decimal because they're quite negligible. Yeah, so it's my personal preference. But if you want the decimals to be there, it's okay. So you can decide if it's one decimal place or two decimal places or three decimal places or zero. When it's zero, it means there's no decimal place. So that's my personal preference.
Okay, thank you. Though I'm
Is
not
that
done,
clear?
when I'm through, if I have any other question, I don't know. If you are in the portal where we can chat you up to ask you questions, I don't know.
Okay, you joined the class late. So he said later he will add me on the group. So if you have questions, you could drop it on the group and I'll answer that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Do we have any other question? Any other question? But I think I'll open up the Tableau desktop. I'll open up our work and we'll just run through it. So if you see anything you think show me again or do this, I'll be glad to do that. But before that, is there anybody who wants to shoot any question?
Yes.
may not be directly with the class activity, but something still related to it. So I'm thinking,
Sorry, Mr. Johnson, could you speak up? Could you speak up more stronger, louder?
Is it better? Can you hear me clearly
Yeah,
now?
this is better. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, this is better. Thank you.
All right. So my question is not really directly to the classwork, but something related to it. So this is it. Now, the Tableau public, like we all know, it's limited. Let's put it that way. It's limited. So for optimal usage, we will need the desktop version, the desktop one, the paid one. So even though I've not tried it, I know maybe if I check whatever, I'll get it. Can you advise, like, what's the average cost of, or installing that? Because I'm considering that if what's for me, what's what doing is what doing best, is what doing well. If it's not too expensive, then I mean, is it something that's what at this level of learning? Is it something that is it advisable to go on and get it activated, or let's just master the public, then we go on to the paid version? What do you think?
Okay, let me see. I'm just trying to log in and see how much is the pricing. The pricing for the pricing, I think it's something you can easily see, but I don't want to, I can't just see it now. So, but it's something that should be on their, okay, let me see the pricing on their website. But for me, like I said, okay. Okay, so Tableau, the normal user month annual bill, that's over 100. Let me share the link so you can see. So it's about $100, a little over $100. But like I said, for learning purposes, I think public gives you enough. Tableau public gives you enough, or even enough to do whatever you want to do. And if you want to pay for it, that's okay. Some of you are very rich students, so I think you can pay for it if you decide to. And to be honest, in this climb, the organizations rarely use Tableau because most people have the Microsoft Office suite or the Google Office suite, right? So yeah, Tableau is quite strange. And then if you get an organization that uses Tableau, they're going to pay for it. So you don't need to pay for it. But everything you want to do is on the public. It's accessible in the public profile. So by the time you use up your 2 weeks, you play around in 2 weeks, you should be able to navigate, the same things in public. Because for me, when I was learning Tableau, that was like 4 years ago, right? 3-4 years ago. And in class, we had to download desktop. And after 2 weeks, it expired, but I had to do my project. I had to do my project in Tableau Public. Yeah, I had to do my project in Tableau Public, and it was even better than what I was doing in the desktop because maybe I had studied a lot. So it's up to you. It's a personal decision. Any other question, please? Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay. So this is what we have, right? Do we have, okay, most people said they're at trying to create the dashboard, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is my dashboard. And if you remember watching it, I said I made it really ugly. So when you're, so you won't copy what I did, right? So you make it better. And well, you have to really go around it, like to make it better. Let me see. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's just so you make it better. So let me just create, let me create another dashboard while we're here, right? With all we've created, let me create another dashboard. So this dashboard, I created it like using a free form when I did everything was floating, right? So let me show you another way you can create your, make it more organized. But then this is a free form, so you can resize and place it how you want it and how you want it. So I'm going to create a new dashboard, which I don't need to, I'm not going to create, let me go back. I'm not going to create all the, I'm not going to go all over and start creating all the KPIs and charts we did. I'm just going to use the same charts. Yeah. So, okay. So now let me create, so I'm clicking. This is a new worksheet. We don't want a new worksheet. Can you see my cursor down at the right? Down at the right. So I don't want a new worksheet, but rather I want a new dashboard. So I'm going to click here, dashboard, new dashboard, and I click. And it adds a new dashboard. And so this is the dashboard interface. And when you have the dashboard, you have the sheet. So these are all the sheets, all the individual sheets you created. And so anytime you drag and drop, it just comes in here. But then let me close this. Yeah, that's not what we want. So, and yeah, you can also decide the size. I already mentioned that. So you either have a fixed size, automatic, and then a fixed size. If you want a full screen, if you want a desktop, if you want, let me see. This is really little, whatever it is, or custom size. So if I select custom, I'm going to, click on the width and the height. Depends what I want. So yeah, but let me leave it at desktop. Okay, generic desktop, let's use this. Okay, so we have this, and then I want the title. I told you, remember, we always have the title, always have your dashboard title. That's best practice. Is you have a title, and whatever company you're that has the data set, or you're doing the reporting, their logo should be there, and your title should be not just say dashboard 2 or sales this. So you should be a bit more specific, and let's say exploring, let's just say exploring Tableau or Tableau first class. Tableau, okay, exploring Tableau. Exploring Tableau dashboard 2, right? And I say apply and okay. So we have a header, and if I have a logo, yeah, I could bring it in like a picture, an image. I bring it in from here and put it. So now we did the first dashboard, the one in the recording, it's a freeform dashboard. So let me bring this in, and it's going to be a vertical container. So containers are like placeholders where you put everything together, so it doesn't just keep moving. Let me remove this. So this is already a container. So I'm bringing in a vertical container. I bring in the vertical container, and then I can resize. And so I bring my sales data. Yeah. So this, I don't want the title there. So this is the container. I want a vertical container. This is vertical. Let me remove this. So now, because this is a vertical container, it just, all of them just go in there. I'm trying to resize this now. This is. I go to layout and I reduce the width. This is becoming, okay, wait. Why is this not cooperating? No. Containers can be quite frustrating to use. And I don't know why I shouldn't have started this. Or maybe I'll do a recording later. I think this class is going to take too long. Let me remove the containers and just work. Let me not work with the containers. So let me just put this here. No, I don't need a container. Okay. I don't want these headers. And the layout, I want it floating so I can move it about. I don't want this. I also don't want this. This comes as a default. Remember to resize when you click on this. When you click on this this tab, when you click on this, you make it floating, so you can easily resize it. But if you don't resize it, if you don't click floating, it becomes fixed. So it's difficult to control. But when you click floating, you can easily resize it and move it around how you want it. Either you use this to scrape, or you can use the width or the height, depending on what you want. So on this, because I made it floating. But if I don't make it floating, it just stays there. It's difficult to work with. So please always remember to make it floating, so you can move it around. But then watching the video gives you a lot of what you need to do. And so the dashboard, I go back to the dashboard to select something. Yeah. And I go back to layout and I make it floating. So I can move it around. This comes with this, so I'm going to remove it. I don't need it. This is just a free form. I think I'm going to do something else with containers, and I'll send it. We'll just use 4 of this. I'm starting to do this so I could show you how to create like a story. And I go back to the dashboard to pick this. I go to layout and I make it floating so I can move it around. Now, because this is it's quite a very big chart, it needs space so it can show. So I have to resize it and fit it. But I know you already know that before you start making your dashboard, you need to sketch. You need to sketch that. I don't need this here. So you need to sketch your dashboard so you know how it's going to be. So you have a design, so you don't just keep working blindly. I'll reduce this just so this. Yeah, just so we have this. So we have this. So, but I also need you to understand that, and it's because this is not big enough. That's why this is not showing. But it's okay. We'll manage it. So another thing you can do when you create this is you can make filters from this. Let's say you click Washington, this is showing Washington, but then because you have not activated this as a filter, let me show you how you can activate the whole chart so it becomes a filter. So it filters all the others. So when you click on this, use as filter. This one too, you come and click use as filter. More options. You can see that now when you click on office machines, because we activated this as users filter, it filters it, and we can see that the values change on other charts. And we click on copiers, the value is changing. This to the value is changing on other charts. Binders, and the value is changing on other charts. So, and when you deselect like users filter, when you click on it, it doesn't affect the other charts. So you should know what you want to make interactive and what the charts you want to make interactive and the ones you don't make interactive. But it's good that, it's just a button, and maybe if you want to show, if you're making a presentation, you could just use it as a filter, and when you finish, you can deselect. I click it 2 times and it deselects. So this one, I didn't activate it as a filter, and I click on it. It's not changing anything. It's just on its own. So you should know, yeah. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to, I think that's the extra thing I missed. I wanted to show you, but I'll try to make a video about containers. Containers can, or maybe I'll just send, I don't know, I'll look for something, or either I make a recording, a short recording on containers. It can be very tricky to use, or I'll send you a video on, maybe I'll look for something, a good video, and on how to use containers. So now this is how we have a dashboard. So this is our second dashboard. And you know, like in Excel, you can have two different worksheets as dashboards, you know, and you could run through them. And also in Power BI, you know, you can have different pages as worksheets. So now we want to put it together. If they're all related, so we put it together and it becomes a story. So here I'm going to click on new story. When you click on new worksheet, what is going to come out is all the individual worksheets. But when you click on a new story, you have to put, you know, you can decide to put some of these and the dashboards. But we can see when we had created this dashboard too, this didn't show. The superstore thing didn't show because you can't put a dashboard in a dashboard. But the story, you can put dashboards and you can put individual charts. So now in this I'm going to say all the dashboards. That's not a nice name, but yeah, it's okay. All the dashboards. And I'll apply it. And okay. So this, I'm going to bring this here. Let's try to inside. Let me make this bigger. So this is what it is now. Let me see first page. The caption, this caption is going to be first page, but do what works for you. And this caption is second page. So let's look at presentation. So if you want to make a presentation, well, yes, this is not adequately, you know, showing. And so this is the first page, and then you go to the second page. Either you click second page or you use the arrow. So if you have like 5 of that, you know, you can just run through it. Let me show, okay, or let me show you something. Let me go to my public profile. I rarely work with this, so but I just want to show you. Okay. Did I change my password? Okay, let me stop sharing. I think I changed my password. Um, no, this is crazy. Wait, I'm trying. I can't find my. Okay, but I think I sent it to someone. So let me send it. Let me share it on the. Let me share it on the. Let me share it on the group so we could. I could just click on it. Sorry, I'm taking a lot of your time. Yeah, it's coming. I think I changed my password recently, and it's okay. While I'm trying to send you the link. Could you have any questions so we don't waste our time? If you have any questions with what we've done or what we've learned or anything that it's quite difficult, I'd like to take your questions now.
Okay, please. The last stuff you just did now on the story, how to do the story. I didn't get it quite
Yes.
well. I don't know. The one you did, that's to do story now, to do the story on the dashboard
Yes.
that you just
Okay.
demonstrated now. I didn't get it very clearly. If you can just, if you, where
If
you
I can
click.
do it again. Okay, that's fine. I'll do that. I'll do that. I need to share. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, but before that, I'm sharing my Tableau public profile. I rarely work on this, but if I shared, anybody can see it. Like remember, we said once you share anything there, it's public. It's for the public. There's no privacy there. So I've shared my link, and I might just want to. You might just want to see that this is the first. I think this is the first thing I did, which is really really ugly. So it's just to encourage you that it can always get better. It does get better. And by the time I did the network, please. But then maybe if you have a stronger network here, you can say, okay, so this is the first thing I did, which didn't make sense. Obviously, to me, it made sense then, but but then later on, by the time I did all of this in Tableau Public. This one now, which is this is the one I brag with, like, oh, I can do Tableau. Yeah. The network is acting up, but we wouldn't waste our time there. So you have the link and you could always just look around and see what I did there. Okay, so let's go back. Let's add the story. So now this is the story. Remember, you click down and not new dashboard, but new story. And so the story brings out, it gives you the option to add different dashboards, right? And if you want to add some charts to it, so we just want to add the 2 dashboards. I always try to do the 2 dashboards. So I'll do the story title. Yeah, I always want the titles to show. And I'll say all dashboards combined. Apply. Right. And so the first one is going to be Superstore sales data. That's the name. So I'm bringing this Superstore in, you drag the sheet there. I'm dragging it and I'm dropping. Right? So now I have it. So I want to add another one. I dragged and I dropped it beside this. So it knows, and the second one is coming. Did you get that, Mr. Charles?
Yes, I do. I do.
I'll cancel again. I'll cancel. So this is the first one. So I just dragged it and dropped it. So I want to add another dashboard. So watch, I'll do this in slow motion. So I'm clicking on the dashboard 2, click and drag, and I drop it beside this. Can you see where it's highlighted beside the Superstore data?
I can see it.
Yeah. So I'm just dropping it here. So drag and I'm dropping it.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we have dashboard 2. That's the name of it here. They're not beautiful names. They're not intuitive, but yeah, that's it. So if you have something else you want to drop, let me just drop this. Sheet sample. Let me just call it sheet sample. I can't think now. Yeah, so that's how it is. So you're making your presentation and yeah, presentation view like where you're doing PowerPoint. So presentation mode. Yeah. So this is how this thing combined is going to look. So you can go from this, you explain, you go to this, you explain, and you go to the last one and you explain. So instead of you going one and one, so it's all connected.
No problem. I grab it now. Thank you.
Okay, good. Thank you. Yeah, that's it. And also, I think you can also export this. You can also export it as a PDF. Right? You could export as PowerPoint. I think you can export as PDF. Yeah. So just export that. You can export. You can. Okay. Yeah. Print to PDF. Right. And you choose what you want, and that's it. And so you have it as a PDF version. Yeah. So I think that's it for now. But then by the time you do, and then there. Let me just show you in the dashboard. There are different things you can do in the layout. Let me use this. This is. You can decide to do like a padding. So it has. Let me show you. It gives an extra spacing between the container and the pad. So even if you move it, there's space between all of that. When you see what the padding does, So there's space between it. So you could just play around. There are too many buttons. It's by the time you try to work, that's when you remember the other. Yes. So that's it. So this is padded. So let me show you. Let's do a presentation mode. And we can see this has extra space because it's padded. So you decide how you want, what you want to do. Just take your time. Building a dashboard in Tableau can be, I don't know, I don't really like it. I prefer Power BI. So that's it for now. So I think I've done a lot of talking, and I want to take your questions if you have any before we call it a day. Questions, please. Hi, Mr. Alex. You joined us late today.
Yeah, Madam Shaman Kumuli, good evening. Yeah, I was having an engagement which is unavoidable. And
Sorry?
I was having an engagement which was is unavoidable for me. So I had to finish up before I can join. Well done. I really appreciate the class, and I'll be following up with the presentation.
Okay, thank you. I didn't get that clarity, but were you able to watch the video, the recorded video of?
Yeah, yesterday and today, like as I explained, I'm having a engagement, like a task which I must finish, and it's all my time. But I started watching this evening around 7, so I'm yet to finish it. So I hope to do so this weekend, before weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I know it's quite lengthy, so I know it's not something you can watch in a day. So I need you to take your time to, go through it. And then that's fine. Thank you for the effort. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much.
With your busy schedule. Yes. So can I take any other question? So can we call it a day?
Well, from my side, I suggest we call it a day. So I don't know of others. Maybe they can talk.
Yeah, we can call it a day, and we can call it a day. Then when we get the video of this last one that we did today, we can also practice more from now till weekend to perfect it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. I know it's so late joining in. Thank you so much. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your contributions. And thank you for the efforts. I really appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your week and have an amazing weekend. See you next week. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
All right. Thank you. Bye. Good night. people that watched it, it was clear. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Charles. I think Charles will just leave.
The Charles likes to stay to the end.
Yeah. No, he's. I don't think he's here because last night he just left and didn't.
So you can stop recording.
Yeah.